Do you find yourself sitting in this tight hip flex position most of the day at work? Maybe rounded back, and the only time you take a break is that lean back, deep breath, and you have to get back to it because you're getting yelled at by your boss? Maybe you're Googling stuff like, why do my hips hurt in these certain positions? Try these exercises. Grab a pad, put it down to the ground to try to protect your knee. Find a couch or a bench. Give yourself a little support coming down onto that pad. That same hip that's tight, that foot is on the bench, and you're gonna try to sit there. Take a couple deep breaths through your belly and try to relax that hip. Next, you can try to progress this by adding little rocks. You are not rounding that low back, you are bracing your core, and you're gonna lean back like you're trying to lead your tailbone to that heel. Should feel a stretch on that front of that hip. Next, progress it by standing, little lunge position here, trying to bring that tailbone back to that heel. You're pushing through your toes coming up out of there. You can progress this even farther with a reverse lunge and overhead reach motion. Try to get to that lunge position, reach over your head and behind you. I want you to imagine that you are in a box and you're reaching for that back corner, not just across your body, but also going backwards. That's gonna help open up that hip posture and you are not touching the knee to the ground. Next, you can find yourself a little heavy weight or a desk or some type of bench to fix that foot underneath. Still bracing the core, and now you're gonna lean back into it. This is now a loading type position onto that hip, and you're pulling up from that position with that hip musculature. You're gonna go ahead and lean back a couple times to give yourself a few reps of this. You can progress this by adding a weight. I'm using a 15-pound dumbbell, not to brag in any way on this one, trying to add a little bit more resistance to keep challenging those hip muscles. The last exercise that we can definitely try is a kettlebell hip pickup or a little march. I'm using a yoga block to make sure I'm getting up nice and high and getting over it using multi-directional. And I want you to try to reach with your heel coming out of this nice and slow. Make sure that you set time apart in your day to get up and make sure you're doing these things regularly so the hip doesn't keep getting tight.